Greetings and welcome to. Let me lower my camera. Howdy. Um, Welcome to New You, New Purpose. Yeah, I know that was a bit much. I'm not a singer. You know this. Ay, ay, ay. You tell them. I tell ya. Anyways, welcome to New You, New Purpose. We are reading out of my journal that I have written. Um, Check out this thing I put on there. Can y'all see that? Isn't that cool? It's a wooden sticker that I got from Walmart for like a clearance price. I think it was like $1.50. I don't know. But I love it. I have it on my wallet too, because I actually thought that would be a cool tattoo. I would have had that as a tattoo, but um I always wanted one, but I just never got one, and I feel like it'd be wrong to get one. Just my personal opinion. And no offense to anybody that does have a tattoo. I find tattoos that are I think tattoos are really cool. But for me, I would not have one. I don't know, it's just I feel like that I would be getting something that would damage the temple, the holy the my body is a temple thing. And I don't know. I would not, even though I've had desires to have it, but I know in the long run I wouldn't get one. And I can't stand it when people get a tattoo just to get a tattoo. There's no story behind it. There's no purpose for it. You just get one to get one. There's no reason to do that. See, if I would have gotten a tattoo, I would have gotten that just because it's centered around Jesus and but I'm kind of going off topic here, but that just would have I just wouldn't get that. But we are going to be talking about teaching our kids God's way. Now, I did this journal entry back in January 9th, and granted, we are in February now, but and this was in the year 2017. So, our memory verse today, my friends, comes from Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. And it reads, He who spares in his rod, he who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him properly. And you know what? This is like one of my dad's favorite Bible verse. Spare the rod, spoil the child thing. But God commands us to raise our children right. As parents, it is up to us to raise our children. And granted, I am not a parent. I am not. But if I was, I would raise my child in the way of the Lord. Discipline is not a bad thing. And granted, in our society, they think if you discipline your child, it's automatic child abuse. Growing up for me, my mom had no. I keep messing with my hair. I'm sorry. Um, my mom had no problem disciplining me, and yes, I did get spanked. But my mom was not abusive. I would get sent to my room. I would get things like my TV would get taken away, or my game system would be taken away. One time, because I was so bad, and I was. I mean, like I learned my lesson. I learned my lessons this way. My mom would take everything out of my room, and all I would have is a cardboard box. And what I did, and I think about it, that cardboard box, because I was a kid and I still had imagination, that cardboard box became my race car. It became my rocket ship. It became um, my sailboat. It became everything. It, you know, I was not abused as a child. I was raised in the way of the Lord. And I'm glad my mom taught me to that show discipline, because it's something that I take with me now. And She taught me about the Bible. She taught me to read, to say my prayers at night. My mom was a single mom, and she worked 3 jobs to put clothes on my back, a roof on my above my head, and food in my stomach. She taught me that the world does not revolve around me. Nowadays, we are in the me generation. It's all about me. And we're teaching kids that it's all about them and that the world revolves around them. They are the center of the universe. And then they get this complex that it has to be their way or the highway. If it's not about them, then nothing matters. This is a terrible thing to do to teach a child. It is a terrible thing to do to favor your child. And I will say this, there's nothing wrong with, you know, telling kids you are special, you are a good, believe in yourself, you have great potential. But there's something wrong when we tell them that they are perfect and they can do anything, like there's no one better than you. There's always going to be somebody better at something than somebody else. You might be a better runner than someone, but somebody else might be a better jumper than you. And that's what I'm trying to get at. There's always going to be somebody better than you. And that's not saying that you're not good. That's not saying that you are not somebody that has potential. That just means there's somebody that may have abilities that are better than yours, but you have abilities that are better than them. But sometimes we puff kids up and to a point where they think they are untouchable. Parents nowadays do not even discipline their children, and you don't have to do like some parents are spanking your child. You could take this stuff away from them. One thing that my mom taught me was she was my mother first, then my friend. She was not my friend first, then my mother. That's not how it worked in our household. And that's one of the problems that we have in our society is parents are trying to be their child's best friend. I have to be your friend first. No, you need to be their parent first because you're not raising little children. They're not going to be little children forever. They're going to be grown adults. You are raising someone who will become an adult and go into our society. And how you raise them will dictate how they will behave. It is your responsibility to raise your child. And this goes also for any teen mothers, teen fathers out there. If you get pregnant, and this is the boys and the girls, I'm telling you, it is your responsibility to raise your child. It is not the responsibility of your parents to raise your child or your grandparents to raise your child. You took the time to have sex, you need to take the time to be responsible and take care of your child. You chose that. You chose to do that. So you need to be responsible and take care of your child. And one of the problems that we have in our society is that parents don't talk about these things to their kids. You need to be open and honest about this because this is real life. Okay, whew, you're welcome. Children and us, because us adults, we need correction. We must teach our kids the way of the Lord. Raise your child in the way he must go or she must go, and he will not or she will not depart from it. And I pray that if, Lord willing, I ever have a child, I would do my very best to teach them the way of the Lord. To do my very best. Because there's too many kids out there that don't know. They don't know because nobody taught them. And at some point though, because we could say, oh, well, it's all the parents' fault. Not all the way. Okay? So it is our responsibility as parents to raise our child correctly. But then when that child is old enough to know right from wrong, then that child also needs to take responsibility for the decisions that they make. When I was young, my mom taught me, if I'd done something wrong, like say I stole something from a store, I had to go back and return it. She doesn't have to return it. I have to return it because I took something that did not belong to me. And I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, I was really bad at stealing. I would steal comic books, I would steal video games, I would steal candy. I remember I got in big trouble at this one store I used to go to. I got kicked out by the owner, and I returned all the stuff, and we talked, and he let me come back, and I learned a very valuable lesson. And when you think about punishment for your child, like I said, some people do still spank their children, and there is a difference between spanking and discipline. There's a huge difference. Also, you can talk to your child. One of the worst punishments my mother ever gave me, oh my word, it was the worst. She would sit down and lecture me. Oh my word. That 10 minutes of her talking to me, telling me how disappointed she was in me and the things that I did, when I did something wrong, that 10 minutes felt like 10 hours. I thought it never would get over with. And that was that was the worst punishment for me. I mean, to the point I said, can you just spank me? I mean, I'd rather take a spanking than get a lecture. But, we need to teach our kids the way of the Lord. We're raising adults. It's sad how I see how some people behave. How I've seen some kids talk to their grandparents like they have no respect for them. Whatever happened to respecting your elders, saying please and thank you? We're into this society now where we're letting 5-year-olds decide if they want to be a boy or a girl. I mean, when is enough enough? I mean, let's be real. The reality is you could change the outside appearance of yourself, but your genetics will always tell you who you are. Your DNA will tell you who you are, who you were born. You cannot change your DNA. I had somebody actually, what gender are you? I'm like, I'm a boy. I'm a guy. I was born a male. I'm a male. I mean, now we got it to where we're having people decide about 5-year-olds what gender they're gonna be. Like I heard a story about a mom who was upset with her daughter because her daughter wanted to wear a pink dress. She's like, no, she can't decide that. She has to decide to be a boy. She's a girl. She wants to wear a pink dress. Let her wear a pink dress. That's what she wants to wear. I mean, the little girl is 4 years old. But we need to just get back to God. Now I know people are going to disagree with what I'm saying, but you know what? I'm going with God on this. We need to teach our kids the way of the Lord. Thank you all for watching New Year, New Purpose. Hope you all enjoy it. Wednesdays, we are doing Back to the Bible with me, Arthur. So I hope you check it out. I recently just did one about Psalms 1 and Psalms 2. We are studying the book of Psalms. It's 2 chapters, even though I did that, so that meant 4, but it's 2 chapters for each lesson. But God bless you all. See you next time on New You, New Purpose. God bless.